Hello YouTube, this is Chris Egan. I'm probably not expecting a One Piece video today. Well, I will get to the manga chapter and do a full review later on, but we're going to be talking about something that happened on the cover. So if you guys did not read the chapter, please click off now. I'll put spoilers in the thumbnail. We're talking about how he could have survived. I'm going to give you guys like 5 seconds. So, the cover, we see Pound on a deserted ship of one of the Whole Cake Island. And we see the Tontadas arriving to them. And this pisses off a lot of people just because Pound was about to be taken out by Oven. And you could actually be more willing to say he survived out of both of them because during the whole time when Pound was getting attacked by Oven, we had the whole Luffy gonna come through the mirror and the ships are on the run. Like, it was bad news for them. Pound is probably one of the ones that probably had the easiest time to escape, if anything, because they weren't really looking for him. So it would have been easy for him to sneak out on a crashed ship from the battle that took place by the island at the end of the arc. Also, you could say he could be on death's door right now. Before I actually talk about Princess Manchuri, because if she's with them, the Tontadas, Manchuri, I don't know if they're with. I don't believe she's with them. If she was with the Tontadas, then he could be on death's door step right now, and she could just heal him. It's probably most likely he's very close to death, because if anything, I would suspect Pound to really have done damage to him, and probably enough so where he got knocked out at that point. And some people would say, oh, well, if he's alive, then Pedro is probably alive. No. Pedro, we saw multiple times throughout the manga up to that point. He was saying his own. We were seeing death flags coming off of him from him. And when he finally did die, we knew at the moment he doesn't have Haki, so he couldn't really protect himself. He had a bomb strapped to his chest, which he lit and held Perospero down. At that part, the only way I could ever see him surviving is if he survived for a few minutes. But even Big Mom was out of the commission at that point on her rampage, so there's no point. He wouldn't come back as a homie. We already know his soul was attached to some other homie already, so we could say that he's technically still alive with that. But to say, because Perospero almost died, if he didn't have his candy armor, he would have died. He lost a limb to it because he couldn't put his candy armor broke on that arm. So, and the other reason why I could see Pedro never coming back is the progression we got on multiple characters. If you looked at Pedro's death as a catalyst to Big Mom's Islands, the Whole Cake Island arc saga, you can say one thing: it got Luffy to act his game up as the captain and take Katakuri into the mirror world, destroying the mirror and protecting the crew. It got Luffy to go all in against an opponent which we thought was undefeatable. Technically, he's still, I would say, undefeated. Katakuri gave him the win anyways. If Katakuri showed up at Wano, I would love to see a rematch. Because Luffy's been training, and that would be a good rematch to see how that all goes down. But it also was a catalyst for Peckham's and Carrot. Both of them used Shulong. Carrot knew how to use Shulong, and she did it to protect the crew that Pedro said. Even Pedro's last word to Carrot, the last memory we see, is him. Well, we see a couple later on. Him talking to Roger saying he would love to go out on the crew. And them saying, it's not your time for your journey yet. There's always a time and place, and your journey will come. But also, him saying the same thing down to Carrot. And you could say, well, Pell got evaporated. Pell, if anything, we saw no death flags. Other than him blowing up, that was the first death flag. Same thing with Pound. We didn't see any really death flags for him. Maybe one or two if you count him being a former husband of Big Mom Pirates, but that's up in the air if you count that as death flag. But we saw it so many for Pedro. Pedro was just laying them out. And you could say, well, Jinbei had a lot of death flags too, but Jinbei ended up alive. That was still open. We didn't know if he was going to come back to the crew. We didn't know if he was going to return to Wano. He left it open there. If Oda left that one open, he could have died, all we know. But he did not. He survived. Pedro is like a different case entirely. Because people keep comparing him, Pound's death to Pedro's death. Pound could have just got knocked out and then took a ship that was crashed from the battle that happened around the island. That would be easy. Take the ship, sail off. No one would know any difference. They still had all the sea urchins down under the sea, still distracted, so it would be easy for them to slip past. And also, it's a Big Mom's ship. It's probably not going to really detect it or say, oh, that's a Big Mom ship, don't worry about it. Let it go. Also, for a story sense, Pound being alive probably is Oda's touch anyways, because we've been slowly seeing Lola and Charlotte coming together and Beige's family thing all coming together. For them to meet up is probably imminent anyways, because that's Oda bringing a family together. And if they found out Pound was the father of both of them, it'd probably give her more a sense back on Whole Cake Island what he did for them. He stopped Pound. Well, stopped in a literal sense. He just whacked Pound over the head with a club. It didn't really stop Pound. It stopped Oven. But he was more pissed off than anything at that point. And you could say he could have just thought Pound was dead and got knocked out. Because at that point, Pound wasn't the biggest target on the plate. You had Luffy, you had everybody else. Also, if you say Pedro survived with his bomb in his chest, and you say, oh, Pell got evaporated. Well, also, you have all the Big Mom pirates who came from there, even Perospero. Perospero would have made sure he was dead before he actually started moving again. There's no way Perospero would have left Pedro alive at that point. Because even as we see throughout the arc, he keeps saying how pissed off he is that Pedro, a mink, took his arm in the battle. Like, he gets pissed and super pissed, and it's incredible to see the arc of that character development of Perospero, where you see him, he's more like cocky and all together, and then that happens and he loses it, basically. And holy crap, is it one hell of a turn. Who else? Jinbei, you could also see a character development, because after Pedro's death, he took the helm of the ship, and actually we saw how he's a hell of a helmsman for the Straw Hats. I'm so Pound being alive is cool. I can see why you guys are pissed, but don't compare him to Pedro. You can compare him to Pell at this point, but Pell had a different experience. You could say Pound survived only because there's other things going on. If there wasn't other things going on in Whole Cake Island, if Luffy and them weren't there, he would have died. He would have died there. Oda leaving it open there was him deciding when he started doing manga covers to bring him back. He could have been dead. Oda could have said, "Yep, he's dead," but when he started picking up them Beige's family coming all together, he probably decided that Pound was alive. That's probably also why he left it open-ended, is because he was probably still thinking that it's an easy write-off to keep him alive. It's not hard. You can just say, well, he got knocked out or so close to death that Oven just thought he was dead because there was bigger targets on the shore. If you took your time and killed Pound or made sure he was dead or took extra time, and then Luffy and them got like even a farther victory than they got, you know how pissed Big Mom would be? Not saying that she isn't pissed now. That's how I think he survived. I think Oven took him close to death, and then he grabbed a ship from the island, or around the island, after all the ships started getting destroyed from the big battle at the very end of the arc, and then he just took off. It could be possible we see a ship in the background going off in a different direction, and you could see him foreshadowed. I'm not going through 25 chapters right now to see every single chapter and detail it. Maybe later on I'll look and see if I can find something, because I have a couple videos to record today, and this is the first one. And it's 11 o'clock. I just woke up. So I have a few things to record. But you can also say Pedro's taking his own life to help the crew. Help even Chopper and Brook. Chopper and Brook were both on death's doorstep. They were suffocating to death by Pero Sparrow. We thought that Sparrow was dead too until he came out with an arm, and he said he almost didn't survive if it wasn't for his candy armor. Which is incredible. It still knocked him out for some time, because, well, I say it knocked him out because it released his grasp, but also the explosion probably also did it. But after Pedro's death, it became a catalyst for the Whole Cake Island of them, every single person on the crew going beyond plus ultra. I love using that quote, plus ultra, to just get out of there and not make Pedro's sacrifice be in vain. If Pedro comes back, it'll be probably one of the biggest slaps in the face from Oda. I don't see Oda doing that because after Pedro died, we saw so many memories of him with Carrot, and it was a lot of character projection in Carrot. Carrot is still one of the members I believe will be part of the Straw Hats. She's been with the Straw Hats one of the longest. At this point, what, 150 chapters, something like that? Something insane amount. And she would be the lookout. She's really good at it. Which would leave Zoro to be the second in command, and he can worry about weightlifting. Zoro's been lookout. Carrot could be lookout. Zoro can be the second in command. Some people will say, oh, well, no, that could be Sanji. No, Sanji's a cook. We have different portions, different places on the ship that each person is needed. So her being the lookout would probably be the best. Sorry, I'm talking about other stuff now, but I'm trying to show just character development at this point. And it was great to see when we got the Odin flashback, or the little Roger flashback, that we saw Roger talking to Pedro and them about going on your journey, and you know when your journey will end. Which Pedro, at that point, If he wanted to survive, he would have survived. But at that point, him taking his life, him blowing himself up, was the only way he could have seen them survive in this point. And you could say they could have got away, but it would have been even more drastically than anything else because Big Mom was right there. The ship was coated. You had broken choppers suffocating. So him sacrificing himself there was probably the biggest catalyst in Whole Cake Island. And there's a couple catalysts, I would say, within Whole Cake Island. If you guys want to, I can talk about Whole Cake Island and talk about different catalysts that could, if that would have changed, the entire arc would have changed. This is one of the moments. If that didn't happen, I don't even know where the arc would have went. If Pedro didn't sacrifice himself to save everybody, I don't know what would have happened at that point. There's a couple moments like that it's very closely, if they didn't have it, they wouldn't have made it. They had Roger's luck at that point. And even with Roger's luck, or the Devil's luck, I like referring to the Devil's luck and Roger's luck one and the same. But if they didn't have it, they wouldn't have survived. There's no way. And even with all that luck, they still needed some help from outside forces. Peckham's, he could be dead. Will he? Don't know. That's all up in the air. He's probably blind, at least. Or knocked out. He could be in the bulk of Big Mom's place. I think that's pretty much it. What I want to talk about. Pound surviving, the character progression of Pedro, and the catalyst Pedro was, and how Pound could have survived, and don't compare him to Pedro in any sense of the word. Pound has been the side character that we kept on seeing throughout the arc, but it wasn't such a big note, other than finding out he's the father of Lola and Charlotte. I'm saying that wrong, it's not Lola and Charlotte. Lola and where else? Come on, sister. It's Shifton. Sorry, Chiffon. Sorry, I keep on saying Charlotte, but that's their family name. Lola and Chiffon is definitely them being Pound being the father of them, and them us seeing how after you give Big Mom child, she just throws the men away, and we definitely saw him slowly over time to actually see him just kind of spiral. And you could see him wanting to get close to Chiffon every chance he got. And then when they were escaping, Oven got them close to destroying Beige's boat at that point. And Chiffon saw the old man smiling. Her baby knew it was family related. And you could just say that's Oda's sense of way, just showing it. But that could also be a third sense in the kind. But in the end game, you guys should not be mad about Pound at all. This shouldn't be on your top priority. I don't know what should be on your top priority about being mad. I get that you guys hate it because it makes Oven look weak, but I don't think it makes Oven look weak at all. I think at this point, you can just knock it up to he thought he was dead and there was bigger targets on the table at that time. So he thought he was dead and left him there. And Pound could have waken up throughout that battle and just taken a ship and gone. It wouldn't have been that hard with all the broken ships that are left there. And you could say right now he might be on the edge of death's doorstep, and the Toten Toddlers will probably heal them up. Knowing Oda's sense of humor, Luffy's name is going to come up in some way when he's talking about what happened to him. And Toten Toddler is going to be like, oh, we're going to help you. Because if Luffy helped you, we are definitely helping you. If Luffy was a friend to you, then we're a friend to you. Kind of like that I could see happening. So, if anything, the family, Beiju's family cover story, I'd probably say we got 3 or 4 more chapters. Or maybe 5 at the most. But with chapters coming out every other week, it's still going to take some time. So, otherwise, hope you guys did enjoy the video. It's a lot of me talking, but I want to do more videos like this. There's another video we'll do later on. Tomorrow you guys will get the full review of chapter 979 from the Viz translation, and we go through a little bit more and we talk a lot. And then you guys will get later on in the week, you guys will get me talking how the 6 headliners going up against the All-Stars is probably the best thing for the Straw Hats to have on their side right now. And I talked a little bit that in my quick review and reaction of One Piece chapter 979, but if you guys like video, if you guys have any ideas or thoughts of how else he could have survived at that point. I'm saying my way is probably not exactly how he survived, but I would think that might be a plausible thing, is just he thought he was dead. He was knocked out unconscious, bleeding there, and they got lucky. You could say after the whole, even if you say, well, he got away lucky, you could say Puddin at that time, because Puddin, we don't know where she went. She could have found Pound and healed him up and sent him on his way too. Because if you guys didn't know, I hated Puddin. I thought she was going to betray us, and she did betray us, and then she is a tsundere, and I slowly fell in love with her as a character. It took some time. I'm saying that as a matter of fact, that I could see her helping Pound, because she looked up to Chiffon and Lola as bigger sisters, and you could definitely see her doing it at this point. And some might just think, nah, that's not gonna happen. That couldn't have happened. It's Puddin, but we definitely seen the twist in her personality. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the video, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, I recommend subscribing to the channel to get all the content. Otherwise, today you guys are getting this. You guys are getting 2 Fallout videos, because yesterday I released the Fallout glitch video, and it was long, and it wasn't really well done. And I knew about 30 minutes to an hour after I posted it, right before I went to work, I'm like, I should delete this. So when I got home from work, I deleted it automatically. And we're going to go in full detail on how to do the glitch and then my legendary farming thing in a different video, just to show it off. Otherwise, you guys are also probably getting Naruto the next 4 episodes reaction. Namaka, if Namaka comes out, and maybe 1 or 2 other things, gameplay parts. I haven't decided yet. Otherwise, really thank you guys so much for watching, and if you made it to the end, thank you guys so much. When we hit 1,500 subscribers, we'll be in 2 gift card giveaways instead of 1, like I was predicting earlier. So 1,500 and 2,000, we'll be doing 2 gift card giveaways, and we'll pick out 2 winners this time. That's if we have enough entries. We only had like 4 or 5 entries that did all the steps correctly, and the one before that, we had, like, I think 35 people enter. So when we eventually do hit 1,500, and that could be probably in the next couple months, because it seems like we get somewhere from 30 to 70 subscribers in a month. So it probably will be a couple months or more before we hit that goal. But once we hit that goal, there'll probably be a special video. There'll be 2 gift card giveaway and then some other stuff. But that's future planning. Otherwise, really, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good night. Wherever you are, just have a good day. Hope I see you guys next video. And peace.